Hello the internet, hope you're all well, thanks for stopping by. Another week, another online time trial, and this time we're at the Le Mans 24-hour course in France, and that's because on the 14th and the 15th of June it is Le Mans. I see what you did there, Polyphony, well done. At the time of filming we were looking at a 3 minute 11.5 to get a gold standard time. Let's assume a week's worth of evolution and we're going to be into the 3 minute 10s. A quick look at the leaderboard shows that everyone is using the Toyota, so that's what we're going to choose ourselves. Remember to stick your racing softs on. For my assist, I've got everything turned off except for ABS, which is set to default, and I'm using a Fanatec CSL steering wheel to play this game. As always, I've uploaded the fastest lap that you'll see in this video to the Gran Turismo 7 server, which you can then download and import the Ghost to chase down the time that you see in this video. Just go to Showcase, Content Search, Filter to Replays and type in my name, Tough Monkey, into the keyword. And then pick the one that's the Le Mans car, the one in the top right corner there, and that will then import when you click the collection on that screen. Then go back to your game screen, and on the game screen, go across to Settings, drop right down to the bottom there to Ghost Settings. Under Load Ghost, go across to Collection, and there it should be. If you click on that, that will import it into your game and you'll chase down my Ghost. As always, there's going to be 2 laps here. The first lap will be a step-by-step guide showing all important features. The second will be an uninterrupted lap of the complete circuit. So, let's get on with the first lap. You want to take a nice shallow line through here. You want to be as straight as you can as you come out of here so you can get the power down early. If you power down with any steering lock, the back end will want to step out. If you lose traction out of that corner, you're going to lose 1, 2, maybe 3 tenths as you run up to the first corner. Take a shallow line around the first part of the bend, move out wide, and then cut this corner as much as you can. Much more than that and you'll pick up a penalty, and then immediately I'm on the brakes. I'm going to go down to second gear and I'm beginning to turn in here. Take a very shallow line, cut as much of that curb as you dare, a little bit of throttle here just to get a bit of speed between the 2 turns, and then cut this corner as much as we can, and then we're trying to get back on the throttle as quick as we can but without that back end stepping out. To blind crest as we go under the famous Dunlop Bridge, keep a shallow line through here, and then any cone that you see in this game avoid. You'll get a penalty if you clip the cones. Here I'm on the brake straight away. I'm going to drop it down to 3rd gear just to get the rotation, and then almost immediately I'm going to get back up to 4th gear as I start to gently apply the throttle. We're onto full throttle now here. Just be careful you don't push out wide onto the left hand side of the circuit there. And then we've got possibly the most important corner on the entire circuit, Tete Rouge. So critical to come out of this corner with as much momentum as possible. Take a shallow line across the first right-hander and then run right out to the edge of those yellow and blue curbs as you exit the corner on the left there. Be sure to cut these shallow turns as much as you can, and then we're going to spool it on to this time checkpoint. It's the only one I really pay attention to. You definitely want to be here under a minute. Best I've done is a 59.4, but I've only ever done that once. I'm usually in the 59.8. Then nothing much happens until this corner here. Get that as tight as you can, but do be careful. It's in the shade. You can very easily nudge that barrier and pick up a penalty. And then we've got the big stop at the end of the Mulsanne straight into the Mulsanne corner. It's almost like a double corner this. We've got the first bend here, and it's at this point I'm starting to throw the anchors out. I don't want to run deep into this, so I want to brake just as early as I can. Turn in first gear and then back up to second as I start to gently apply the throttle. Keep control of the back end, and as soon as you're comfortable, mash that throttle to the ground. We have these 2 ever so slight shallow turns. Cut as much as you can without picking up a penalty. Same again on the second one. And then we've got this really tricky section here. You've got to be careful. You can easily pick up a penalty if you go too wide on the entrance on the left hand side here, and also on the right hand side here. And this is where I'm starting to brake for the left-hander at Indianapolis. I'm going to go all the way down to second gear. This is where I'm beginning my turn in, and I'm going to almost immediately go back up to 3rd gear. This keeps control of the back end of the car as I start to apply the throttle, and be very gradual on the throttle because it's very easy to lose the back end of the car. It's only a very short run to the very tight right-hander at Arnage where you can lose a lot of time. You can easily run too deep here, so I get on the brakes early. I turn in 1st gear but immediately go up to 2nd as I start to apply the throttle. Again, be very careful of the back end twitching. As soon as you're confident you've got traction, mash the throttle as we head up towards the Porsche curves. And I don't like this run. It's very long and it gives you a long time to think about it. By now you know if you're on a good lap or not, and if you're on a good lap you're building up pressure because you've got this very important sweeper of corners coming up here. and I'm going to drop to 6th gear on approach. I'm going to turn into this corner, and I've missed my apex. I've got this wrong. I should be close to that yellow and blue curb on the right hand side, because it means I've run wide. Fortunately, I can still maintain almost full speed through this corner. I'm sticking in 6th gear, turning for this corner, try not to hit the curb on the left because it can unsettle the kart, and then around about this I'm going to apply the brakes and I'm going to drop it to 4th gear. This keeps a tight line around the curb because we want to be coming out of this corner tight up along the right hand side of the track, ready for this Corvette curve. This is very difficult, turning early in 4th but immediately back up to 5th to keep control, and just be careful you don't run too wide on the exit of Corvette curve there. Then it's just full throttle through this little right left sweeper, take as much of that curve as you can, and then you've got these last two very important chicanes. I'm getting on the brakes at this point here just before the end of the entry to the pit lane, take as shallow a line as we can. I'm sticking in 4th gear, but then I'm going to drop to 3rd, a little bit of throttle between the two chicanes, but then I'm immediately back on the brakes here. Got to get this right. 2nd gear, take as shallow a line as you possibly can, and then run out up against the red sausage curb on the right hand side and get as straight as you can, as soon as you can, back on the throttle for a very short run to the line. I've been absolutely peppering the 310s, but I can't quite beat it just yet. Anyway, I'm going to shut up now and let you watch the next lap through in silence. I'll catch you at the end. So there we are, that is a 3-minute 10. If you can get to under 3-minute 11, I think you should get your gold standard time and 2 million credits. If you found this video helpful, do consider a like, comment and a subscribe, and I shall see you on the next video. Take it easy.